What is a term? It is a group of numbers or constants only multiplied or divided by each other. These numbers or constants are also known as factors. For example, 3yz. Here, what this means is 3 times y times z. 3 is a factor, y is a factor, and z is a factor. They are multiplied by each other, so they form one term. Now, if the factors are added or subtracted, it becomes more than one term. Terms are separated by subtraction or addition. For example, 2x, which means 2 times x, these are two factors making one term, and it's separated by a plus sign from another term which only contains one factor, which is z. So this expression contains two terms, 2x plus z. These are two different terms. Now, if we look at this example and we wanted to make it one term, we can enclose it in brackets. Anything enclosed by brackets becomes one factor. So if we take this 2x plus z and we put brackets around it, it becomes one factor. Let's look at some examples. 5yz, which means 5 times y times z, divided by t. Now this is a term because each of these factors, 5, y, z, t, are all either multiplied or divided by each other. Each of them are factors, and they are multiplied or divided by each other. The second example, 7x minus 2, this is not a term because it's separated by subtraction. Here we have two factors, 7 and x, which means 7 times x. This forms one term, and this term is separated from the second term, which is simply a number, which is 2. So here we have two terms separated by subtraction. Now the third example, we also have 7x minus 2 here, but notice that it's enclosed within brackets. Now if it's enclosed within brackets, it becomes one factor. So here we have two factors, the 3 and the 7x minus 2, which is enclosed in brackets. So we have a factor times a factor, and a factor times a factor means that it's one term. If you have factors that are either multiplied or divided by each other, it forms one term. Let's look at parts of a term. Here we have minus 3 yx squared, which means minus 3 times y times x squared. The coefficient of yx squared is minus 3. Coefficient means whatever's in front, whatever factor is in front of what we are talking about. Here we are talking about yx squared. There's yx squared here. Whatever's in front of it is the coefficient, which is minus 3. The variables are in green, which are y and x, and this 2 on the top is called the exponent. It's the exponent of x. We pronounce this as x squared. It means x times x. If it was 3, we'll say x cubed, which is x times x times x.